For over 70 years, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Marin has worked to inspire joy and justice in an imperfect world, sharing life's journey, celebrating many paths, and acting to make a difference. UU Marin celebrates people from all walks of life. No matter how you make your living or how you experience the sacred, no matter who you are, where you're from, or who you love, you are welcome here. If you're seeking open-hearted community, a place where you can have a real day-to-day impact in the world, and a space for the whole family to grow spiritually, come check out the church at the top of the hill. Come join UU Marin.
Can wait, I forgot my mittens. Wipe my nose, get my new boots on. I get a little warm in my heart when I think of winter. I put my hand in my father's glove. I run off where the drifts get deeper. Sleeping Beauty trips me with a frown. I hear a voice, you must learn to stand up for yourself, 'cause I can't always be around. He says, when you gonna make up your mind? When you gonna love you as much as I do? When you're gonna make up your mind, 'cause things are gonna change so fast. All the white horses are still in bed. I tell you that I'll always want you near. You say that things change, my dear. Mirror, mirror, where's the crystal palace? But I can only see myself skating around the truth of who I am. But I know that the ice is getting thin. Hair is gray and the fires are burning. So many dreams on the shelf. You say I wanted you to be proud. I always wanted that myself. He says, when you gonna make up your mind? When you gonna love you as much as I do? When you gonna make up your mind? 'Cause things are gonna change so fast. All the white horses have gone ahead. I tell you that I'll always want you near. You say that things change, my dear.
And I will recite a beautiful song written by one of our very own people, Walter Littrell. A peace prayer. Awaken me now with new hope for peace. Help me become the best I can be. Bless my soul with joy and grace. Lead me home to sweet liberty. Imagine every nation living peacefully, joining the people for no more war and woe. Trusting our neighbors, we share prosperity. Thank you, prosperity. Damn tongue gets in the way of my eye tooth. I can't see what I'm saying. Teaching our children, we reap what we sow. Let us build a better tomorrow. Unite the world as one family. Help us walk from prisons of sorrow. Fear no evil, knowing love is our key. Far beyond our troubled lands, there is love for you and me, healing our hearts, holding our hands, giving us peace, setting us free. Thank you, Walter. So I get to do the first poem today. And this came to me via our dear Karen Arori. It's called Pledge of Allegiance, but it's not our usual Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. And this was written by a lady named Kayleen Asbo, A-S-B-O. I pledge allegiance to the dawn's early light, to purple mountains in their majesty, to waving fields of green grass and golden grain. I pledge allegiance to soaring eagles, but also to the owl and finch and sparrow and wren, to eager hummingbirds and languid lizard, to delicate spider and the crusty crab, to shy hedgehog and daring coyote cub, I pledge allegiance to the oak tree in her soft shawl of lichen, to the ocean with her shining, shimmering waves, and to the stream babbling his happy song. I pledge allegiance to the blazing sun and the gentle moon and the stars that stretch far beyond the reach of human time and imagination. I pledge allegiance to the courage and strength of ancestors who plowed the fields of their lives with resilience and resourcefulness, sowing crops to simple hopes and big dreams through the Dust Bowl, the Great Depression, world wars, and even dementia. I pledge allegiance to ripe blackberries, juicy figs, and sweet corn. I pledge allegiance to great gratitude for the humble hands that pluck lettuce, sort library books, pour coffee, bandage wounds, and dearest, darling citizens, whoever and wherever you may be. I pledge allegiance to the seeds of wild beauty and extravagant love that lie within our innermost silent heart. In this great turning, may we reach out to one another today to declare our independence, knowing that it is only through our kindness and compassion, mercy and forgiveness, wisdom and generosity, that there can be the possibility of a world of liberty, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
This represents musings on a Sunday afternoon about 10 years ago on a long 300-mile drive from the mountains of western North Carolina to our home on the coast of South Carolina in Beaufort. The sign on the steep, narrow road from Dillard to Highlands beckoned me. 35 spectacular acres, your mountaintop paradise. Who can buy a mountaintop? Me? Those in the modest houses on the long road across the foothills of upstate South Carolina. Some neat, freshly painted, loved. Others weathered, worn, decaying, not for lack of love. No, not those people. My father was one of those people, he whose father, the bricklayer, died a Depression-era death, pneumonia, walking the streets of distant northern cities in winter looking for work. My father, whose modest home in a drab steel town in the panhandle of West Virginia was heated by coal scavenged from railroad beds, falling from passing trains. In what condition was that house? In what state of repair or disrepair? I wonder now. And what road brought me here on my way to a weekend board meeting at a tranquil mountaintop retreat center? What chance, serendipity, happenstance, good fortune? The Methodist College in the mountains of West Virginia that offered my father an education, lifting him into a new world. The wise mentor who guided him through seminary and introduced him to his daughter. He didn't tell me about you, the story goes. When she became ill, the wealthy parishioner who sent their eldest son to the summer camp in Maine where his love of nature was nurtured. The neighbor who introduced him to the prestigious school that led to the prestigious college. The little school in Concord looking for a teacher of nature just as he began to search for his first job. The colleague with a corporate executive friend looking for a presentable young person who could talk intelligently with captains of industry. The miracle that he survived the drunken excesses of his youth. The woman who loved him despite his flaws and quirks through long periods of unlovability. The same woman who found religious communities that loved him for no good reason, recognized his gifts and nurtured them. It was these things along that road that brought him there to that place on the mountain: love and loving kindness, generosity, charity, grace. Chance encounters, accidents of birth, and circumstances that allowed him to land inexplicably on his feet time after time. There, before that sign, I know that I did not steer this course. I did not chart it. I rode it, often clumsily, sometimes recklessly. I know that I have been passenger more than pilot, somehow staying aboard. There, before the sign, I am humble and I am grateful. I am grateful.
Hello. I found this poem in a poetry class on Zoom by a wonderful man who's a great reader of poetry and teacher. His name was Dale Byron. Anyway, this poem really struck me. The name of the poem is The Cure for It All. and it's by Julie Fehrenbacher. Go gently today. Don't hurry or think about the next thing. Walk with the quiet trees. Can you believe how brave they are? How kind? Model your life after theirs. Blow kisses to yourself in the mirror, especially when you think you've messed up. Forgive yourself for not meeting your unreasonable expectations. You're human, not God. Don't be so arrogant. Praise fresh air, clean water, good dogs. Spend something from joy. Open a window, even if it's cold outside. Sit, close your eyes, breathe. Allow the river of it all to pulse through eyelashes, fingertips, bare toes. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe until you feel your bigness, until the sun rises in your veins. Breathe until you stop needing anything to be different.
I wrote this poem at the beginning of this year as a commission because there was going to be an art show and a music soiree, and they needed a poem. It's called Impressionists. Monet and his artistic kin were not sharing their initial impressions. Instead, they bravely conveyed what they saw, whether in nature's unpredictable abundance or when observing life in its urban particulars, with their contextual and time-specific nuances of light and color. We love the Impressionists because they caught those exuberant moments that each of us sees when we allow life's magic to embrace us passionately. Celebrating Monet's water lilies in his youth or nearly blind old age, celebrating the somber beauty of Gauguin's Tahitian maidens, Degas' ballerinas, or Mary Cassette's mothers and children. Their art swallows us into our deepest thoughts and our fondest memories. Have you not also worshiped the sunflowers like Vincent? Or stood awed by the sea like Debussy? Have you not wished the thinker out of a block of stone, as Rodin did so deftly? Or struggled to convey in words the evolving fullness of your thoughts, like Virginia Woolf or Conrad or Whitman? We lift our hearts in praise to the impressive Impressionists.
Bows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. Well, I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes true. I've looked at love that way, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
Okay, now we will do the second segment of poetry. And I have been in the habit for about 25 years of dating and romantic relationships of sending men poetry very early on, which is why it is not lost on me that I'm still single. And I picked one that I wrote for someone, I actually quite liked him. He was this beautiful, tall, brawny, red-haired furniture maker. But it became very apparent, very early dating, that he had not yet processed his divorce. And so even though I quite liked him, I didn't go on another date with him, and I gave him a poem as a parting gift, as one does. So this one's called The Divorcee. And it's a silly one, actually. He was silly. An octopus lived in the dark depths of the sea. He was quite shy, not like you or like me. Tangerine tentacles spiraled out through waves, slowly searching across algae and caves, not for young sparklefish, as one might expect, but for a bandage, for a heart that'd been wrecked, or some briny salve to numb those deep cuts from life's prickly happenings, the downturns and ruts. Around a bend, he found an aquatic oasis with a tree surrounded by things most crustaceous. The tree shook down many rainbow-colored leaves, under which starfish danced, laughed, and grieved. "Don't go there," whispered a moray eel. "Creatures go there to intensely feel. That's a field tree, according to ocean lore. You'll be immersed in pain, love, hurt galore." Yet the octopus thought he'd give it a try. He was tired of being afraid, so lonely and shy. His strong arms moved out, pushed his body along. A seahorse heard, sang their favorite song. "To feel is to live," they melodiously cooed, "and the only way out is most usually through." So the mollusk danced, too, underneath the field tree, Pain washed all over, but then he felt free. Like the Nine of Cups card, he burst into joy. Life was again rich, so much to enjoy. He swam right out, kissed the mouth of every sea thing. He was twitter-pated like animals in spring. Promises of new beginnings and salty, crisp starts. Our octopus opened up, enlarging possibilities in hearts. There's a process for healing, but it's never the same. Waves are unpredictable, so are the lives to reclaim. Who knows what the octopus will now do, what new critters he'll befriend, work with or woo. Every shipwreck has treasures if you know where to look. It just takes courage, magic, and sea gobbledygook.
So I wrote this poem for this service, and I always try to write a special poem for Poetry Sunday. And I try to make it on the topic that we talk about. So the topic for this month was divinity. So I wrote the poem. It's called Questions About Divinity. What is God? Who is God? Where is God? Those were the questions people have been asking for many years. Is God a person? Is God a feeling? Is God a force outside myself? As a child, I often thought about God and what the word meant, and whether I was agnostic or atheist or neither. I wondered whether God was in nature or in my heart. Was God a person or a deity or a figment of my imagination? Raised Jewish and Unitarian Universalist, it was hard to know what to believe, but the Trinity was definitely out of the question. The Jews had very specific ideas about God, but the UUs led you to believe whatever you wanted, and we studied many different religions as children. God of many names was often mentioned in the services. I considered the Bible as a work of literature, and once wrote a paper about it being that, which meant I actually read the Old Testament in order to do this paper. As I grew older, I stopped trying to figure out the answers to questions about God and just let it be.
Okay, this is, whoops, I lost it. This is one of my favorite poems, and I'm sure many of you have heard it before, but I really needed to hear it after having a very challenging year. And it's Hope by Emily Dickinson. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could have bashed the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chilliest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. And I hope you all have a happy and healthy new year.
So I wrote these several poems, short poems, a number of years ago. When I saw the announcement in the bulletin, I thought, yes, they relate to divinity, so I thought I would share them. The first is Seeking the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother calls, sometimes softly, bringing the feminine voice into awareness. She nurtures, inspires, listens, and radiates a sense of unity and connection. The Divine Mother models compassion and teaches us how to live with passion. She is a holder of dreams and visions and offers a container in which creativity can emerge. The Divine Mother holds a space where both masculine and feminine can flourish together. It is the careful dance between them that enables us to become whole. I connect with her in solitude, in prayer, walking the labyrinth, and in nature. She is part of me and I of her. She is awaiting our call, our openness to her presence. I celebrate her beauty, her wisdom, and her guidance. The second poem
is based on one of my favorite words, which is called Ubuntu, a South African word, talks about the interconnectedness of life. Carl, my husband, and I lived in South Africa for 5 years, and we learned a lot about Ubuntu, very important theme. And so this poem is based on that. It's called We Are One. I am in you and you in me. I am the flower blooming and the wind blowing and the birds soaring and the earth spinning. We are all one. I see in me what I see in you. We are mirrors for each other. In this moment, I have no face, no race. We are souls walking a human path together. We have been together forever, it seems. I can be me because you are you. When I let my light shine, I give you permission to do the same. And together, we can fly beyond our wildest expectations. We are one, connected on many levels, bonded by our common humanity. Living in a spirited earth, the joy of life washes over us, where you and I are one.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and old anxiety? For old anxiety, my joy, for old anxiety, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet. For old anxiety, and surely you'll be your pint stoop, and surely I'll be mine, and we'll talk a cup of kindness yet. For old anxiety, we twine ruin about the braes and part the mowings fine, but we wandered many a weary fit in old anxiety. We tried pilot in the barn frae morning sun till dine, but seas behind us broad have roared for old anxiety. For old anxiety, my joy, for old anxiety, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet. For old anxiety. Happy New Year.
So, as we close this year, 2024, and as we close our service today, I'd like to take a quote from the story of Virginia Woolf. One of the lines is, "There is only one thing that you should not waste in life. That's life itself." And Rumi wrote, "Whatever happens, stay alive. Don't die before you're dead. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose hope. Don't lose direction. Stay alive. Be with yourself, with every cell in your body, with every fiber of your skin. Stay alive. Learn, study, think, read, build, invent, create, speak, write, dream, design. Stay alive. Stay alive inside you. Stay alive outside you. Fill yourself with colors of the world. Fill yourself with peace. Fill yourself with hope. Stay alive with joy. Blessed be, may it be so, and amen.